The debate of whether you should rent or buy a home has just gotten more and more loud, especially over the last couple of years. And it's just being debated, and everyone has their own thoughts. And it's starting to get confusing, especially if you don't know what to do. Now, usually when you're young and you don't have a lot of money and you move out of your parents, you usually are going to go rent, right? Unless you have $50,000 or $100,000 saved up to go buy something, you're most likely going to go rent a place, right? Just because it's flexible, it's could be potentially month to month or a 1 year contract, and then you can just leave, right? Maybe you don't want to live in that place anymore. At the same time, you don't have all the costs of owning, you don't have the maintenance cost. But eventually, and this is my opinion, you should want to become an owner of real estate, especially when you get a bit older, right? It allows you to forcefully build equity, gives you that stability, especially as you get older. Let's say, you get married, you have kids, and you don't want to be called up in the middle of the night saying, you know what, you have to pack your bags in 30 days because I need to renovate the place or I'm selling it. And not only that, once you buy a property and you start to pay down the mortgage, it allows you to borrow against the home to do a lot of other things, possibly buy other investments to grow your net worth. So it's really a good foundation to buy a home and build up from. Now, there's one author of a book, and the book is called The Wealthy Renter. I actually read this book a long time ago before I bought my first home. And in the book, he pretty much says that renting is a great option and that people underestimate the costs of owning real estate. All the taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, interest, commissions when you sell, right? And these are all things you have to keep in mind. And then he also argues in the book that you can invest the difference in, RRSPs, TFSAs. We also have the first home savings account, FHSAs now, and he pretty much, the book is of him saying, look, like you plow money into ETFs, into these accounts, right? And you just rent and enjoy life. You don't have to own. The thing is though, this guy that wrote the book, he actually owns real estate and he's saying this, right? So what does he really think? I think he's just being more like mathematically run the numbers. That's his opinion. But at the same time, he's also mentioned that he does own property, right? So then why doesn't he sell the property and then rent himself, right? Like, why doesn't he take his own advice? Here's the thing with renting for your whole life. Let's say you pay $2,800 a month right now in rent, and your whole life, let's say you start at 20 or 30, for the next 30, 35, 40 years, you're paying rent. You could have maybe spent easily $1 million in rent by the time you're 65 with pretty much nothing to show for it. And the other big thing is, and this is what I've noticed, the people that say, oh, I'm just going to rent, never going to buy in my life. You have to have the most extreme discipline to actually invest the money properly, okay? Not speculate or pick individual stocks. And there's so many different things that you can actually make a mistake on. You can also make behavioral mistakes, which means the market can come down. You can sell at the wrong time because it's so easy to sell ETFs and stocks, right? It's literally a press on your screen. You can liquidate your whole portfolio if the market starts tanking. And the market could easily tank over the next year. I'm talking about the stock market too, because of all the stuff happening. And so buying a home, it really is like a forced savings where you still build up equity. And if you put even more money towards your mortgage, it helps you build that foundation and then the ability to build up from it. But of course, as an owner, you are still at risk, right, of home prices falling down, or maybe you bought at the peak of the market like a lot of people did in 2022. And so I do think it's good to own a home and then you can start building up other investments at the same time. That is probably the best thing you could do. If you're in the beginning stages where you don't have a lot of money saved up and you're renting, you have to really, really work on your discipline. It's not the easiest thing to do, especially with the cost of everything, right? Gas, groceries. Your ability to really build the discipline to save money is so key, especially when you rent.